Welcome back to my another session. In this session, I am talking about the different process or different step of the fertilization, and this is the very fundamental and conceptual subject for the higher secondary student. So there is so many events in fertilization process, but we will discuss about only the basic fundamental things which is related for the higher secondary level. So what is fertilization? The fertilization means the fusion of haploid sperm with haploid ovum. The fusion of haploid sperm with haploid ovum, and which produce the diploid, means 2n number of chromosome present here, and production of diploid zygote. This process is known as the fertilization. So for fertilization, this is the process by which haploid sperm is fused with the haploid ovum and which produce diploid zygote. This process is known as the fertilization. This fertilization process, there are several steps, but here we will discuss the process of fertilization in these heads. So first, the approach of the sperm to ovum. So this is the sperm and this is the ovum. So sperm first go to the near to the ovum. Capacitation and contact, then acrosomal reaction and penetration, then activation of ovum, then amphimixis, and last head is the significance. So what is the types of fertilization? So actually fertilization, it may be divided into two types. One may be the internal fertilization. If the fertilization taking place inside the body, means inside the uterus or inside the fallopian tube, the process is known as the internal fertilization. Another fertilization may be the external fertilization. So what is the meaning of different types of fertilization? On the basis of site of fertilization, on the basis of site of fusion of sperm and ovum, the fertilization is two types. If the fertilization or the fusion of sperm and ovum taking place inside the body, then the fertilization is known as the internal fertilization. In all higher vertebrates, they have the internal fertilization. In case of human also, the fertilization is internal. Why in case of human the fertilization is internal? Because in case of human, fertilization actually taking place inside the fallopian tube. It means inside the body. That's why it is known as the internal fertilization. If the fertilization taking place outside of the body, outside of the body means in the surrounding medium, What is the surrounding medium? Actually, the swimming of sperm or floating of ovum, which needs the fluid medium, or the aqueous medium. So in case of internal fertilization, body fluid which provide the aqueous medium for the swimming of sperm or the floating of ovum. But in case of external fertilization, the surrounding water body, it may be water body or any aqueous fluid which act as the medium. So in external fertilization, the surrounding medium which provide the aqueous medium for the fertilization. In case of lower chordates like fishes and amphibians, they have The ovum, in case of human, the ovum which is 30 times bigger than the sperm. Suppose that this is the structure of ovum. This is the structure of ovum. The ovum outer region, there is the vitelline membrane. Outer the vitelline membrane, there is the zona pellucida, and outer the zona pellucida, there is the corona radiata. So this is the ovum. And sperm. So first, outer to the plasma membrane, this is the vitelline membrane. Inner is the plasma membrane. The outer cell, this is the granulosa cell, which forms the corona radiata. So what happened here? The male individual, in case of internal fertilization, the male partner, they have a specialized structure through which the male individual inject the sperm inside the body of female individual. The special organ of such male individual, which is known as the copulatory organ. And in case of human, the copulatory organ of male, that is penis. So at the time of coitus, at the time of copulation, at the time of sexual intercourse, the male individual penetrates the penis or the copulatory organ into the vagina of the female individual and release the sperm and release the semen or the sperm. And the releasing of semen inside the vagina of the female individual, the process is known as insemination. The process is known as insemination. So the deposition of semen or sperm inside the genital tract of the female, the process is known as insemination. So after insemination, suppose that this is the there is the ovary. After ovulation, the ovum or the secondary oocyte which release from the ovary and enter into the fallopian tube. It enter into fallopian tube and which wait at the ampulla for the entry of sperm or the coming of sperm. If copulation taking place, then the insemination occurs. Then the sperm which swims and cross the cervix, then it swims, it cross uterus, then into cross the isthmus, then enter into the fallopian tube and it enter into the ampulla. So how many sperms enter into the fallopian tube? So many millions and millions number of sperm enter into the fallopian tube and the ampulla of fallopian tube. So there are so many sperms which surround the ovum. So millions and millions number of sperm encounter the ovum. So out of these sperm, only one sperm get chance to fuse. Out of these millions of sperm, only one sperm get chance to fuse with this ovum. Fuse with this ovum. And this process, which is known as the monospermy. If one sperm is fused, then this process is known as the monospermy, and this is the natural process. This is the normal process. So first, the sperm which covers the so many distance by the swimming, it cross the cervix, the uterus, the isthmus, and enter into the ampulla of the female and encountered the ovum. So this is the approach of the sperm to ovum. And here the fluid medium which the sperm which swim in the fluid, the body fluid of the female. So here the female body fluid which act as the aqueous medium for the human fertilization. So this is the approach of sperm to ovum. Then what happened? Then second event is the capaciation and the contact. What is the meaning of capaciation? Capaciation means the ability to fuse with the ovum. This is known as the capaciation. And the contact. Contact means the touching. Actually, the surface of sperm, suppose that this is the surface of sperm which contain the enzyme. This enzyme is known as antifertilizing. And the surface of egg which also contains the complementary enzyme. On the surface it also contains the complementary enzyme. This enzyme is known as fertilizing. So fertilizing and anti-fertilizing. The fertilizing, it is secreted by the ovum around and present the surface of the ovum. This is the fertilizing. And the sperm, they have the specific type of anti-fertilizing or complementary anti-fertilizing. When the sperm come in contact with the ovum, the fertilizing and anti-fertilizing, they react to each other. This is the chemical reaction. They react to each other like the antibody and antigen reaction. The process of fertilization, this is known as the species specific. The process is known as the species specific. What is the meaning? What does it mean? Species specific means the ovum is fertilized. The ovum is fertilized with the sperm of the same species. That's why it is known as the species specific. So after completion of antigen antibody reaction, then the sperm, some of the changes taking place in the sperm. Some of the changes taking place in sperm. So now this sperm, some of the changes which make the sperm, which provide the sperm the ability to fuse with the ovum, which is known as the capaciation. So please understand, during the fertilizing and anti-fertilizing reaction, if this is the ovum and this is the sperm of the same species, then the fertilizing and anti-fertilizing reaction which will be appropriate. Then after the completion of this reaction, then some of the changes taking place in the sperm, and such changes make the sperm or provide the ability to sperm to fuse with the ovum. This is known as the capaciation, which is known as capaciation. So first is the approach of the sperm to ovum, then capaciation and contact. Then now come to the third step. This is the acrosomal reaction and the penetration. Acrosomal reaction and the penetration. So look at this picture. This is the plasma membrane. This blue color, this is the vitelline membrane. Now this is the zona pellucida, and the outer is the corona radiata. So here this is the sperm having acrosome, and the middle piece, this is the tail. So this sperm, which is the capacity, and this sperm which got the ability to fuse with this ovum. So suppose that this is the ovum. This is the ovum. So in the third point, acrosomal reaction. When the acrosome come in contact with the surface of the ovum, some changes taking place in the structure of the acrosome. The acrosome which contains acrosomal granules, or these are the acrosome which contains hydrolytic enzyme, and this is the nucleus. This is the nucleus. So when sperm come in contact with the ovum, the membrane of acrosome which extends and form a tube-like structure. This tube is known as the acrosomal tube. This is known as the acrosomal tube. And such acrosomal tube, here the acrosome now it bursts and release its content. So after the bursting of acrosome, which release its content and which dissolve the cells of the corona radiata, then the zona pellucida, then vitelline membrane and the plasma membrane. So up to plasma membrane, it dissolve all these things and make a path for the nucleus through which it enter into the ovum. So this is the acrosomal reaction and the penetration. So what happened here actually, the acrosome which contains the hydrolytic enzyme, when the surface of the acrosome come in contact with the ovum, then the extension of acrosomal membrane taking place, which form the acrosomal tube, and after the formation of acrosomal tube, at that time the bursting of acrosome occurs, and which release the content of acrosome which contains the hydrolytic enzyme, which is dissolving the cells of corona radiata as well as the layer zona pellucida, vitelline membrane, and which make a path for the nucleus to enter into the ovum. This is known as the acrosomal reaction and the penetration. Up to this, the ovum which activate, and what are the situation occurs here. So the activation of ovum, when the acrosomal tube is formed, when the path is formed by the bursting of the acrosome, the formation of fertilization cone taking place. now look here, the acrosomal tube, the membrane of acrosome, now it fused with the membrane of ovum. So suppose that this is the acrosomal membrane. Now it fused with the membrane of the ovum, and this is the, as you know, this is the ovum. This is the ovum. So it looks like a cone. This cone is known as the fertilization cone. This is known as fertilization cone. Then what happened next? The cortical reaction and the formation of fertilization membrane. So below the plasma membrane of ovum, which contains number of granules. These granules are known as the cortical granules. These granules are known as the cortical granules. Known as the cortical granules. So what happened actually here? So this is the plasma membrane. This is the fertilization cone. This is the sperm, which contains nucleus. This is the fertilization cone. So these cortical granules, after the formation of fertilization cone, these cortical granules, it fuse with the plasma membrane. So this is the red color. This is the plasma membrane of ovum. So these cortical granules, after the come in contact with after the acrosomal reaction, these granules which fuse with the membrane of ovum and which release their content. So these are the cortical granules. These are the cortical granules. So these cortical granules which fuse with the membrane of the ovum and release their content. So what happened next? The vitelline membrane, which present in associate with the plasma membrane, now it detached from the plasma membrane. So suppose that this is the plasma membrane. It detached from the vitelline membrane. It detached from the plasma membrane. It detached from the plasma membrane. Detached from the plasma membrane. So outer to vitelline membrane. So this is the vitelline membrane. Outer to vitelline membrane, the membrane is the zona pellucida. So this is the zona pellucida. So in between plasma membrane and zona pellucida, there is the space which is known as the perivitelline space. Now the vitelline membrane, it detached from the plasma membrane and attached with the zona pellucida. Zona pellucida. And some of the changes occur here. Some of the changes occur here. Now the zona pellucida, it as well as the vitelline membrane, it becomes tough and impermeable. It becomes tough. It becomes tough, and which prevent the polyspermy. So they prevent the polyspermy. They do not allow other sperm to fuse after the fusion of the single sperm. At that time, through this path, the nucleus gradually enter into the ovum. This is the, now the nucleus, this is the sperm nucleus. After into the ovum, it is known as the promel nucleus. Now this is known as the promel nucleus. This is the formation of fertilization cone. When the acrosome fuse with the ovum surface, then the acrosomal membrane which fuse with the plasma membrane of the ovum, which form a cone-shaped structure which is known as the fertilization cone. Then the cortical reaction, at that time the cortical granules present below the plasma membrane of the ovum, they fuse with the plasma membrane. This is a very vast reaction or the vast topic, but here in for the higher secondary student, the topic is the conceptual only. You have to understand the concept and the process. These cortical granules which fuse with the plasma membrane and release their content, and which bring some of the changes in vitelline membrane as well as the zona pellucida. Now these two membranes which form the fertilization membrane, So this fertilization membrane which does not allow further the entry of the sperm into the ovum. So it prevents polyspermy. Polyspermy means only one ovum fused with one sperm. This is why? Because our cells are diploid cell. So our aim to formation of the diploid zygote, not polyploid. If more number of sperm fuse with the single ovum, then which occurs the polyploidy and the fetus become abnormal. So this is the fusion of or the entry of the nucleus into the ovum. Come to the metabolic activities. After entry of sperm nucleus inside the ovum, suppose that this is the ovum, this is the female nucleus, and this is the nucleus of the sperm. Now the sperm nucleus which is known as pro-male nucleus, and the nucleus of female or the nucleus of ovum which is known as, now it is known as the pro-female nucleus. The pro-male nucleus eat fast. So this is the entering point. It travels a straight line inside the ovum, then it turns towards the pro-female nucleus. The first path which is traveled by the pro-male nucleus, this is known as the penetration path. This is the penetration path, and the second path which is traveled by the pro-male nucleus, this is known as the copulation path. So after traveling penetration path and the copulation path, the fusion of both the nucleus taking place and which form the zygote. Now this is known as the zygote, which forms the zygote. This is known as the zygote. This zygote which contains now 2n number of chromosome. So here the pro-male nucleus which contains haploid set of chromosome, the female nucleus or the ovum nucleus which contains the haploid set of chromosome comes from the mother. So two different types of haploid set of chromosome bring together by the process of fertilization, which help for the recombination, which help for the new species, the evolution of new species. And the mixing of both the pro-nucleus, pro-male nucleus and the pro-female nucleus, the process is known as the amphimixis. This is the fourth point, which is known as the amphimixis. The process is known as the amphimixis. So what are the different metabolic activities are taking place? At the time of fertilization, the different activities are taking place. The first point is the completion of second meiotic division. So at the time of fertilization, this is ovum. Actually, this is not ovum. This is the secondary oocyte. This is the secondary oocyte. This is the secondary oocyte. This secondary oocyte, it has the nucleus to divide. So these secondary nucleus which divide by the second meiotic division and which produce the second polar body. So the completion of second meiotic division and form the second polar body. The first point. Second thing is that the process, what are the metabolic activities? The second metabolic activities is that at that time the permeability, the increasing of permeability taking place. So the permeability of plasma membrane which will increase. There is the increasing of rate of respiration. The increasing of rate of protein synthesis, because it enter into the cleavage process and initiation of cleavage. These are the different metabolic activities actually done by the process of fertilization. So this is the process of fertilization. Now come to the significance. What is the significance of the fertilization? So first significance is that when it brings to different type of haploid set of chromosome, that's why the process of fertilization which helps for the recombination, and which helps for the evolution of new species. It maintains and restores the diploid number of chromosome in species. Process of fertilization which helps for the further division. It may be the second meiotic division or cleavage. So this is the whole process of fertilization. So let's repeat at the end of the video. What is fertilization? The fusion of haploid sperm with the haploid ovum and the production of diploid zygote. This process is known as the fertilization. On the basis of site of fertilization occurs, the fertilization may be the two type. One is the external fertilization, another is the internal fertilization. If the fertilization taking place inside the body, inside the womb, inside the fallopian tube or uterus, this process is known as the internal fertilization. In case of human, the fertilization which taking place inside the ampulla of fallopian tube of female. In case of external fertilization which taking place inside the surrounding aqueous medium or the water medium, the water medium may be the sea water or the fresh water, and such type of external fertilization which is found in case of lower vertebrates like fishes and amphibians. So first approach of the approach of sperm to ovum. Millions and millions number of sperm deposited at the time of coitus, at the time of sexual intercourse, to the vagina of the female. Out of these millions and millions of sperm, some millions of the sperm able to enter into the fallopian tube and reach to the ovum. So this process, which will take at the particular time, the life period of sperm and ovum is limited. That's why the insemination and the ovulation, which will taking place simultaneously, that's why which will facilitate for the process of fusion. Then capacitation and the contact. Capacitation means the ability of the sperm, which make the sperm to fuse with the ovum. This process is known as the capacitation and the contact. When the sperm reach to the ovum, when the surface of the sperm touches the ovum surface, then there is the reaction is taking place in between fertilizing and the anti-fertilizing. The chemical which secreted by the ovum on the surface, which is known as the fertilizing, and the chemical present on the surface of the sperm, which is known as the anti-fertilizing, which recognize these chemicals, or the reaction which recognize the sperm of the same species. That's why it is known as the species specific process. After recognition of the sperm, then the ovum allow the sperm to fuse, and or some of the changes occur in sperm and they gain some ability to fuse with the sperm, which is known as the capacitation. When it contact with the surface, when the acrosomal membrane come in contact with the ovum surface, then the extension of acrosome occurs, and which forms the acrosomal tube, and the dissolving and the bursting of acrosome taking place and releasing of hydrolytic enzyme taking place, which dissolving the several covering of the ovum and make a path, and after that the fusion of acrosomal membrane and the plasma membrane taking place. The fusion which forms the cone-shaped structure, which is known as the fertilization cone. After the formation of fertilization cone, the granules present below the plasma membrane, these are known as the cortical granules. The fusion of cortical granule taking place and releasing the content to the outside of the ovum, and which chemicals, or the releasing of content from the cortical granules, as a result they bring some of the changes to the vitelline membrane as well as the zona pellucida, So both these membranes, they form another type of membrane which prevent the polyspermy, and this membrane is known as the fertilization membrane. And some of the metabolic activities also taking place at that time, and the nucleus which gradually enter into the ovum. Now the nucleus is known as the pro-male nucleus. At that time, some of the metabolic activities also taking place here. At the time of fusion, the second meiotic division is completed. And the second polar body is produced, and this will disintegrate. The increase of permeability also increase at the time of fertilization. The permeability it increased, so it means that number of chemicals it may enter, it may exit through the membrane of the ovum, then which will increase the rate of respiration, the rate of protein synthesis, and which also initiate the initiation of cleavage or initiation of cell division. Why it will enter into now the process of cleavage. So these are the different process and amphimixis. After the entry of the pro-male nucleus, it fused with the pro-female nucleus. The process is known as the amphimixis. So before amphimixis, fusion with the female pronucleus, the male pronucleus which has traveled two different paths. The first, it entered into a straight line, traveled a straight line inside the ovum, which is known as the penetration path. After traveling the penetration path, it turns towards the female pronucleus. The second path is known as the copulation path, which is covered by the which is covered by the pro-male nucleus. So this is the whole process of the fertilization and the significance, as it brings two different types of haploid chromosomes from different types of individuals. That it means that the process of fertilization, which helps for the recombination, and it restores the diploid number of chromosome generation wise, and the process of fertilization which helps for the further division. Without fertilization, the secondary oocyte will disintegrate. If the fertilization taking place, then after fertilization, the secondary oocyte which complete the second meiotic division and which enter into the cleavage process. Thank you for watching.